Hi everyone. So I have noted down some points to start with SQL. Okay, so I will be creating one playlist, okay, for the non-IT persons or for the beginners who want to switch or learn the SQL from the scratch. Okay, so here I have noted down some basic questions before we start into the technical terms. Okay, so okay, let's get start. So first thing is, what is SQL? So before starting anything, you must need to understand what is SQL. So SQL is the short form of structured query language. Okay, so as the name says, it is the language to communicate with data. Okay, like we communicate in Hindi, English, Marathi. There are many other languages. Okay, we use this language to communicate with each other. Now likewise, this is the language to communicate with the data inside the computer. Okay, now many people think SQL is only for the programmers or for the IT engineers, but the truth is SQL is one of the easiest and most powerful skill a non-IT person can learn. Okay, so in this video I'll be explaining what is SQL, where it is being used, why learning SQL can change your career even if you come from a non-IT background. Okay, so now you may ask where it is being used. Okay, so I would say SQL is being used everywhere. Okay, even if you are using a non-coding application, there also it is being used behind the scene. uh, Banks also uses the SQL to see the transactions. Hospital also uses the SQL to maintain the patient records. Companies, like most of the companies using, almost every companies, okay, not the most, almost every companies use the SQL. Okay, uh, like in almost in every department this is being used. Okay, so you may ask like why non-IT people should learn SQL, or how can actually a non-IT person can really learn a SQL and get a job in this field. So yeah, the short answer is yes. One of the most this is one of the most common question I hear. Okay, I'm come from the non-IT, can I really learn SQL? So the shortest answer would be yes. But that because for this to learn the SQL, you don't need advanced math, you don't need programming background, you don't need any computer science degree. Okay, or you cannot say I'm a bad at coding, because that doesn't matter. You cannot say I'm a weak in English. You just need to understand basic English. Okay, or even the fun thing is, you cannot say I'm too old to learn. Okay, so basically everyone can learn the SQL. You just need a logic and a practice. Okay, because it is not a any this SQL is not a coding language like a Java, Python, C, or any other language. Okay, so anyone can learn the SQL. Okay, so now by this time, if you are still watching this video, so you must have decided to learn SQL. Okay, so now to start with SQL, we must need to understand the few basic things. Okay, what is data, databases, rows, columns. Okay, so data is the basic thing. I would say data is just a information. Now information can be represented in a any form. A newspaper is also providing information. Excel sheet also have information, or any document. So data is nothing, is a information. Now what is database? Database where we are storing that information. Okay, so for example, newspaper is also a one kind of database, because some information is there. Now Excel is also a database, because some information is there in that Excel sheets. Likewise, how that information is stored in the form of rows and columns. Maybe let me walk you through in the Excel. Let me open the Excel. Okay, so here is this one table, sample table I created. It is having two columns, column 1 and column 2, and total 6 rows are there. Okay, so as you see, columns are supposed to represent one type of information. For example, column 1 here, it is representing the names. You can see it is having names in all the rows. Okay, likewise column 2, this is another column, and it is also supposed to represent a different kind of information. For example, surname. In every row you will see it is only representing surname, whereas the rows, Okay, mostly you will see in the horizontal format. Okay, rows are supposed to be in horizontal format, whereas columns are supposed to be in vertical format. Okay, so here for this like line number 3 which I just selected, it is representing a one row. One row means a full data of one set. For example, here by looking at row number 1 we can identify this is a whole information for this from this table Ram Singh along with name and surname. Likewise, row number 2 is having another detail, a full set of detail. Okay, so columns are having a specific information, whereas rows are having a complete detail of that record. Okay, so that is how we can differentiate rows and columns and whole this structure like we call as a table. Okay, so this is how we store in the Excel. Likewise, it is pretty much similar in pretty much similar way we store in the database. Okay, and now in next video I'll be creating a table in the uh, mm, database itself, and let's see how like we can manipulate the data by using the basic queries. Okay, stay tuned for the next video. Thank you for watching.